Once or twice a year, we received a phone call checking on us, but told we were still on the list. Eliminating that list is vital. In closing, thank you for your time and opportunity to address you today. With your support, we remain optimistic for 2026 legislative priorities. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brooks. Jim Hagerott, and then Jack Hinesley. And following Mr. Hinesley, Jacqueline Steele.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Jim Hagerott. I'm the president and co-owner of Sterling Fibers. We're a manufacturing company here in Santa Rosa County. Our predecessor company's been here since 1958. I'd like to thank Representative Boyles for sponsoring these bills. My fire tax went from $7,000 to $107,000. That's an increase of $100,000. I'm in the Avalon-Gila district. And again, I just want to thank Representative Boyles for sponsoring the bill, Senator Gates, and Representative Andrade for approving it. The only request I'd like to add is if there's any way possible for you to make this impact the 2025 tax year and not wait till the 2026 tax year, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Jack Hinesley. Mr. Hinesley. Jacqueline Steele. And following Ms. Steele, Sean Owens, Mayor of the Town of Jay. Could you hold the microphone close?
Sorry.
There you go.
I'm not a holder. Representative Boyles, nice to see you. Senator Gates, Representative Andrade, good to see you guys again. Good evening, my name is Jacqueline Steele, and I serve as the North Florida Field Manager for Equal Ground. It's a Black-led voting rights organization dedicated to protecting our democracy and increasing civic engagement across Florida. We're here today because the people of Santa Rosa County, as well as the communities across North Florida, deserve fair representation. Democracy only works when voters are choosing their elected officials, not when district lines are drawn to favor a political party or protect incumbents. Let me be clear, we're not asking for racial gerrymandering. What we're asking is simple, fair maps drawn without partisan interference that follow the law and respect Florida's fair district amendments. Those amendments passed by Florida voters require fairness, accountability, and transparency in redistricting. Right now, Florida's congressional district delegation split 20 Republicans to 8 Democrats. That imbalance does not reflect the actual political preference of Floridians and raises real questions about whether the maps are living up to the standards voters demanded. A fair process based on equal population, compactness, and keeping communities together would give voters the power to decide without manipulation from partisan map drawers. We do strongly oppose any attempt to redo the census before 2030. What this county and other counties around the state need is a complete and accurate count. So when the time comes, every resident from Milton to Gulf of Breeze is represented equitably. Anything less leaves people unheard. So let's be clear, it's not about maps. Equal Ground fights for issues that matter to families across Santa Rosa County as well as the state of Florida. Those are affordable housing, access to healthcare, livable wage jobs, strong public schools, environmental protections, and laws that do not disproportionately harm marginalized communities. Finally, I do urge that let's not let this upcoming session be a repeat of last year. The legislature should spend the people's money very wisely by focusing on the people's priorities: property insurance relief, protection of our children's health and safety, and not wasting resources unnecessarily on special sessions that erode the trust of the people. Equal Ground and the communities that we serve welcome the opportunity to meet with you, share stories from the ground, and work together on situations that reflect the voices of everyday Floridians. And know this, we're watching, we will continue to hold you accountable, and we'll continue to fight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Representative, Mayor Owens from the Town of Jay. Mr. Mayor, thank you for coming.
Good evening. Mayor Owens is out of town. He's dancing, so he asked me to step in for him. He's on business.
I assume Dancing with the Stars.
That is Tuesday. No. My name is Eric Sod. I'm the town manager for the town of Jay and full-time senior staffer at the town. So Senator Gates and Representative Andrade, thank you very much for your support this past year with the absence of Representative Rudman. We did get some help from the state, and we appreciate that support. And then Representative Boyles, we look forward to continuing our professional relationship that we have with you. We 40% complete with our disaster relief facility, which is in the center part, big part of our town. We also have a sidewalk project as well as a stormwater project, which were funded this year so that we will start construction later by the end of this year. So we appreciate all the support with those, and we look forward to placing a stormwater project again in front of the legislation. We understand that match money is appreciative or helpful in getting those completed for legislature.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Ramona Shires, and then following Ramona Shires, Katie Bennett.
Okay. Good evening, gentlemen. Senator Gates, Representative Andrade, Representative Wells. Thank you for allowing me to speak today on behalf of the Florida citizens that need help with their health. My name is Dr. Ramona Shires, and I'm a licensed, qualified, and experienced naturopathic doctor and registered dietitian nutritionist. I'm speaking on behalf of the Florida Naturopathic Physicians Association. I'm here today to ask your support for a bill that will come before you this session to reinstate licensing for naturopathic doctors in Florida. This is a matter of freedom and choice. Floridians deserve the right to free choice in their health care. In the United States, 25 states and the District of Columbia licenses naturopathic doctors. And in those states, NDs practice as primary care physicians and are a key part of the primary care in that state. Currently, Florida is not one of these licensed states. I've lived in the area for over 50 years. I have so many friends and family who want me to help them with their acute and chronic issues, and I have to tell them, no, I can't help you. It's illegal. I could go to jail. So I'm asking you to change that. Why is it important? Well, we face a primary care shortage. We can help with that. Certainly, we're not going to eliminate it, but we can certainly help. As people move in and out of Florida or visit Florida from some of these other licensed states and they need health care, they come here and they're looking for naturopathic doctors and they can't find them. So they have to find other ways to get help. Again, we're putting forth this bill to license naturopathic doctors again, and we would appreciate your support this year in the legislature. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Katie Bennett, and then on deck is Sherry Chapman.
Good evening. Thanks so much to all of y'all for the opportunity to be here to speak before you, Senator Gates, Representative Andrade, and Rep. Boyles. Congrats on this amazing turnout. I think it's really cool to hold them in the evening. I know a lot are held in the daytime, and Santa Rosa County really showed up, so congrats to all behind. My name is Katie Baumet. I'm the Florida State Director for Alliance for Safety and Justice. We represent 14,000 crime survivors or crime victims here in Florida, 250,000 nationwide, and we work towards public safety solutions that help achieve public safety for all. We are proud members of the Associated Industries of Florida. We work alongside business, faith, and civic partners across the political spectrum. I'd also like to recognize one of my partners here today, Mike Cook with the Christian Coalition. We were just awarding one of your new green reps, Rep. Salson, with the Friends of the Family Award yesterday, and she's also a survivor and a veteran. I want to thank you, Senator Gates, for filing SB 50 this year. ASJ and CSSJ supported a very similar bill last year, and we look forward to supporting you again in any way that we can be helpful and our voices can help support that. For those of you that aren't familiar with SB 50, it strengthens veteran treatment courts by getting courts in consultation with multiple multidisciplinary teams the ability to determine eligibility and convert veterans with qualifying conditions and nonviolent felonies into treatment-focused programs. Last year, our members also testified in support of the Haven Act. This would expand protections for survivors of domestic and dating violence, an important addition through stronger address confidentiality and a feasibility study for a web-based 911 system, also very helpful for to protect the identities of those that are DV victims. While the bill advanced through one House and one Senate committee very popularly, it earned strong bipartisan support. I know that it'll be filed again this year, and hopefully can count on y'all for supporting it. Again, you supported it last time on either of those two committees, which I think is good. For the 2026 session, our priorities include SB 50, of course, Senator Gates, expansion of petition-based record sealing. This helps those who have completed their sentences reintegrate, reduces barriers to employment and housing, strengthens families, and increases public safety for all. And also the expansion of trauma recovery centers, or TRCs. We're working right now with Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare to get one established in Tallahassee. We hope to have them everywhere, including Northwest Florida. These are basically places that victims can go regardless if they reported their crime and however long ago it occurred, to get free services and mental health support, group support, etc. Florida invests billions in public safety. We advocate for at least a fraction of that to go to healing and prevention. We like to say hurt people, heal people.
Thank you so much for your testimony.
Thank you so much for
Appreciate
the
it.
opportunity. Have a good one.
Sherry Chapman, and on deck is Kim Klein. Ms. Chapman, you're recognized.
Thank you, gentlemen. In late June, I was asked to foster a child from Santa Rosa County that, due to lack of beds in our county in March of 2024, was sent away to Jacksonville to be fostered. The child was 5 years old. The mother still has parental rights and visits, but due to distance, expense, and time, the mother and sister can only visit 2 times a month, missing school, work, wages, and time apart from each other. The mother's attorney petitioned for us to foster the child here in Santa Rosa County in July. The process has been slow, and I will admit frustrating, but we have been told that the DCF vendor is short-staffed. The child is now 7 years old, is still 6 hours away, and I'm sure does not understand the delays in our system. We have done all we need to do and told that we are good to go, but yet the child is still in Jacksonville, Florida. I beg you to give this vendor help, guidance, or oversight, whatever is needed for our children in Santa Rosa County and in our district, that they are not more than an hour away when a parent has visiting rights. I feel sorry for these children. This child has been in 2 foster homes, 6 hours away from her parent and her sister. Please help our children. If we don't see about them, I don't know who does. I'm not faulting DCF necessarily. I'm just saying that we need to set some parameters as a state of how far a child can be away from a parent that still has parental rights. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Kim Klein is next, and following Klein is Marilyn Farrow.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'm here to ask for your help to create a more appropriate check on the governor's power to place appointees on our local college and university boards. I'm asking you to consider legislation that codifies a true system of checks and balances where the Florida State Senate has a meaningful role in the confirming of these appointments. Back in April, I, along with a group of local UWF alumni, drove 3+ hours to attend an 8 a.m. Senate confirmation hearing in Tallahassee. We were unified in our concern over several controversial Board of Trustee placements. The governor appointed some individuals without ties or a clear understanding of Northwest Florida or the institutions we have built here. At least 2 of them did not even live in our state. There was a wave of pushback locally, including every member of the Escambia County Board of County Commissioners. Senator Gates, you also listened to your constituents as you chaired the committee that did not confirm Adam Cassell, an individual who was not even a Florida resident who publicly stated that the GI Bill was a mistake. It felt like a big local win, but it seems that the Senate's power to advise and give consent are toothless. Thanks to a loophole in the process, the governor was able to keep him on the board anyway. At the national level, the President of the United States cannot place an appointee that does not pass a Senate confirmation hearing. The Senate's power to advise and consent is written in the U.S. Constitution. So why is the governor of Florida given so much more power than the President of the United States? If it is a conservative principle to limit the power of government, then the legislation will be something that your constituents will enthusiastically support. Mr. Cassell, along with the governor's other trustees, are presiding over the Tallahassee takeover of our local university, and taxpayers are paying the price. The new board quickly pushed out Dr. Martha Saunders and replaced her with the Florida Commissioner of Education, Manny Diaz, a move that doubled his salary despite having no experience running a large university. Trustees at the university agreed to pay him an annual base salary of $643,000 with no performance incentive. This is over $100,000 more than Dr. Saunders' base salary. Next, Mr. Diaz said that he needed a chief of staff, so board members approved a new position that comes with a salary of nearly $200,000 per year. And the recipient of this position is not a local either and does not have the experience commensurate with the salary. Apparently now they are also redecorating their offices. The governor's very expensive conservative makeover of an already conservative school seems like an irresponsible use of tax dollars and a way to pay back political loyalists. The recent politicalization of college trustee placements has highlighted our need for a check on the state's power to take over our local institutions. Please consider legislation
Thank you
to
very
help
much,
us
ma'am.
retain our local
Our
trustees.
next speaker is Marilyn Farrell, and followed by Anna, I believe it's Dice. Ms. Farrell.
Good evening, Senator Gates, Representative Andrade, and Representative Boyles. I'm here to speak about an unpopular topic if we're talking about keeping property taxes, and a popular topic if we're talking about abolishing them. But I appeal to you that we couldn't have this event here in the City of Milton Community Center if it were not for things like property taxes. We would not have our chief of police here if it were not for our property taxes. There's just a couple examples. Local services support Florida's unique quality of life. Most of Florida's tax dollars are raised and spent locally. If we do away with property taxes, we'd have to come up with some other way to support our municipalities. We would have to go up on our sales tax up to as high as 12% is what Florida League of Cities predicts. We would also potentially have to increase utility and service fees, or even add new local fees to make up the difference. Doing away with property taxes would threaten the things that make Milton, Santa Rosa, and Florida a great place to live. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Dias, I apologize, ma'am.
You nailed it. You got it, her?
And following Anna is Matt Posner.
Well, good evening. We're almost halfway through. You're doing great. We're all hanging in there, right? So, my name is Anna Dice, the Executive Director at Northwest Florida Area Agency on Aging. We're the administrative agency that brings in those state and federal funds for our older adults from Escambia County over to Walton. Almost forgot what counties I serve. That's a problem, right? But tonight we're talking about Santa Rosa County. And so I want to thank the two of you for your continued incredible support of older adults and the work that we do. And we'll certainly be talking to you, Representative Boyles, about that work. Chastity did a wonderful job talking about Alzheimer's disease initiative. That's one of those programs. Community care for the elderly and home care for the elderly are the other two programs. Each day we work very diligently to utilize those dollars. We want you to know we use them completely. This year across our 4 counties, we used 99.93% of the funds that were allocated to us. I'm still working on that 0.07%. But here in Santa Rosa County, we use 100% of those funds. So when they're brought to us, we will use them efficiently and effectively. part of the way we were able to do that is we partner with caregivers, we use volunteers, we leverage funds, we'll do anything and everything that we can do to make sure that we're meeting the needs of the older adults that we serve. But as Chastity also mentioned, there's a wait list, and that continues to grow. If the traffic here is any indication, and certainly the numbers say the same thing, Santa Rosa County's population continues to grow. So please just ask for your continued support in that, and know that every time you are barking through those numbers and those numbers allocate funds to older adults, we'll do everything we can to make the most of each dollar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Matt Posner, followed by Diane Warner.
Evening, Matt Posner, the Executive Director of the Consultant History Programs here in Delegation Friday. Representative Boyles, it's great to see you all here this evening. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the investment in the Estuary program over the last 7 years, and specifically want to recognize Representative Andrade. Since the program was formed back in 2019, you have been a stalwart supporter of it, and resulted in over $3 million coming into the Estuary program. That has turned into over 40 actions that result in comprehensive improvement of these water systems. You've heard me speak over the last couple of years. Our primary focus has been on oyster recovery in the system. You may have seen in the press the last couple of weeks, we've released our 2025 update to our State of the Bays report. Oysters are in a state of critical condition, and so that continuous investment from the state as well as our federal partners is instrumental to make sure that we not only bring back this habitat for the ecosystem services that they provide, but also to reestablish the once thriving oyster industry we have in the system, and continue to support quality of life, nutritional and swimmable waters for all. Good news is it's not all bad news, and that's we have seen improvements in stability in our seagrass coverage as well. So while there can be a lot of focus on the negative, I want to focus on the positive too, and give a shout out to our local government partners and utility partners that in the state for the consistent investment in stormwater and wastewater infrastructure. It takes many years to see these improvements happen. These issues do not happen overnight, they're not going to be solved overnight, but we are making incremental progress moving forward. On the policy front, I encourage you all to work with your colleagues this session to continue to support rural actions that continue to improve local governments on developing best practices, and to continue to provide our state agency partners for the PPP, Northwest Florida Water Management District, with the resources and authority that they need to enforce the policies that we have on the books. The work that we're doing not only relies on the funding to keep this, or to achieve our objectives, but we also need to ensure that the policies are actively enforced for long-term sustainment. And with that, I also hope that you'll support the Northwest Florida Water Management District's efforts and continue to fund regional partnerships from Escambia throughout their district, and invest in the long-term improvements across Northwest Florida, and the reason many of us call it home. So I will provide more detailed updates to y'all individually, and hope to get you guys out in the field in the not too distant future.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Diane Warner. Ms. Warner, and following Ms. Warner, Sharon Reagan.
Good evening, Diane Warner, Milton, Florida. Good evening. Concerned citizens like myself have organized to investigate election security. Our team now includes cyber, data, and rural experts, attorneys, researchers, military intelligence, and skilled bill writer. We've surveyed 35 Florida counties, reviewed 26 staffing contracts, and looked into 42 staffing agencies. We're doing the job that I believe our Secretary of State should be doing. What we found is alarming. In 2024, millions of Florida's vote-by-mail ballots were processed in large warehouse environments, mostly by temporary staff, with little county and no state oversight. Shockingly, these contracts had no requirement that these temporary workers be U.S. citizens, nor did they have a requirement for them to be a Florida resident or even a county resident. That means nothing stops foreign agents from handling our Florida ballots. That's pretty scary. If that's not bad enough, then they can all be from the same political party with no oversight. Florida state requires chain of custody records from ballot printing to ballot destruction. Equally troubling, 16 Florida counties had either zero or broken chain of custody documentation for the vote by mail ballots. Without chain of custody, we have no way to verify that tens of thousands of ballots were properly received, processed, or counted. Vote by mail is insecure. It's horrendously expensive. In just 3 counties in 2024, temporary vote by mail workers cost taxpayers $23 million. Sometimes they pay triple the amount that an actual poll worker makes. Drastically reducing vote by mail, as President Trump has promised, would save millions of dollars for Florida while strengthening election security. Our team isn't just alerting to problems, we've written the solutions. We have a vote by mail bill ready that closes loopholes, restores trust, and aligns with President Trump's call for secure elections. I provided documents to Carrie Fetzer that she's going to be giving to all of you, and I will be emailing the vote by mail bill to you. It's actually 110 pages long. I do urge you to be the legislator who steps up and closes these gaps. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Sharon Regan. And following Sharon is Trey Sullivan.
Thank you, good evening. I appreciate your time tonight, and I appreciate you being here. I look forward to working with you, Nathan Boyles, and look forward to working with you all again. Senator Gates, thank you for your animal cruelty